Mic check one, mic check one.
Mic check two, mic check two.
I think you need to go up a little.
That's what she said.
Mic check two.
Bam. So that's what we're looking for, Justin. I'll bring that level of clever wit to the show.
I know.
And welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast, Netflix and Kill edition.
Dun dun dun!
Travis, it's back.
It is.
It's back. We're back with Netflix and Kill. It was gone for so long. It didn't feel right to do it without Kyle. But you know what? We found someone, I would say even better.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he agrees with me more, so he's definitely better in my opinion.
And right now, Kyle can't disagree.
So yeah, so who's on the mic? Well, it's me, Nick, the Merc with a mic, and my fellow unapologist,
Travis.
And the new, I shouldn't even say guest, he's basically officially an unapologist now, that he's now on this show, Justin Zarian. You want to say hi, Justin?
Oi, mate, I'm so excited to be talking this movie because we're going to put some zombie brains on the Barbie and kick their butts from Brisbane to Sydney.
I love it. I was surprised there wasn't as much boomerang killing in this movie.
That'd make a way better movie.
There's a whole lot of F-words, though. Lots and lots of F-words.
But yes, what movie have we brought in Justin to talk about? Why, it's the movie we last left off on.
That you vetoed me, and that's the whole reason we canceled this whole entire segment.
Yeah, because it was so bad, we didn't want to watch this movie that Travis picked.
I kicked Kyle off the podcast with my terrible movie.
So, the movie... You killed Kyle's enthusiasm. His childhood, man. So yes, we are reviewing the film Wyrmwood Road of the Dead.
All we know is there is something in the air that's changing people.
I need you to get me to Bulla Bulla.
Why? To get his sister.
You get to see what the adults do after dark.
Oi! Can we come inside? There's zombies everywhere! Yeah, okay. She can control zombies!
We need fuel.
There's no way that could work.
There's one way to find out.
We need to armor up. Big time.
Ready? Born ready.
And as far as what that movie is about, I think the title says it all.
I think it covers it.
Whatever the title doesn't say, Travis will. So Travis, explain to me what this film is about.
All right, well, yeah, this might be a little rough. Not because it's been a couple months since I've watched this, but just because it's so forgettable. I barely remember the day after I watched it, so...
Blasphemy.
No.
Everything in this movie is memorable.
He's right.
So, this is a movie set, as you might have guessed it from Justin's accent, in Australia, where zombies happened, which...
Wait a minute, I thought Justin was from Australia. You're telling me that was an accent he put on?
You're the one who does all the accents.
So, my God, he's a man of mystery, a real chameleon.
Oh, man, you should see how my British accents and my other accents go. They're... No, I was going to praise them, but they're all equally terrible, so...
Okay. Well, here we have a zombie apocalypse happening in Australia, which just seems kind of pointless, because, I mean, let's face it, what can be done to these people that Australia hasn't already done to them?
Well, it's nice that a post-apocalyptic film comes pre-apocalypsed.
Yeah.
So, I feel like that's anything that's set in Australia.
A word of warning, I apologize to our Australian listeners, the one or two of you who are listening to this podcast. There's going to be a lot of jokes made at your expense.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
sorry, Jeff.
Don't apologize to them.
Oh, right, unapologetic. There we go. I need to get used to that. Get
into that.
Fuck you, Australia. Sorry. Sorry, Australia. I didn't mean that. Come back here.
Anyway.
I kill kangaroos.
No, kangaroos are terrifying, dude.
I know, but they look so cute with those boxing gloves on.
Anyway.
Are they born with those?
No. So, the movie starts off with, I guess, the main character, Barry, who hears some noises in his house and decides, I'm going to go check on them. And then his wife follows him out to find this guy, like, eating shit out of his fridge. of course, he, tries to encounter the guy and finds out, oh shit, dude's a zombie.
It was either that or it was going to be the intro to Cold in July, where it's like, oh, just some stranger, shoot him with a gun. That seems like the obvious answer, right?
I mean, that was going to be the end either way. He was going to be shot by a gun, just a matter if he was a zombie or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has to hook up with, because he's looking for his sister, right?
Yes, because they switch scenes and see that his sister, who's, like, doing some kind of weird video, she gets one of her castmates or whatever ends up turning into a zombie, and then they had to like fight her off, and she gets like hides in the rafters while waiting for her brother basically to come pick her up.
Yeah, let's get this done. This chick is a badass.
She's kind of amazing.
And yet she spends most of the movie chained to a wall for no particular reason too. So
yeah, well, she starts off as like, whoa, this must be like our, like, I was almost, because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be one of our main characters, right? Like, look at her fucking ninja skills, and then she gets like captured almost immediately afterwards. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. She gets captured by a bunch of soldiers who take her away because she's not a zombie, as far as we can tell at this point.
Because zombie movie. That's pretty much the explanation for a lot of stuff in this.
Well, there's only a couple plots when it comes to zombie movies. One, it's not explained what happened. Two, it is explained like what happened, and it's just some sort of natural disaster. And three, it was basically, it's a part of a government plot to weaponize something or other, and they're looking for like the people that aren't infected.
And in this movie, all three of them converged in some way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
And it still barely explains anything. So that I give it kudos.
Like, the fact that you say that like the girl was his sister, that wasn't even immediately clear to me until later in the movie. It's like, oh, hey, my sister. And it's like, oh, well, that's news to me.
Like, I barely even knew that was the goal, was to get her at first. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's the point. Got it. So, unbeknownst to us while watching the movie, this guy's going to get his sister while taking his wife and kid with him. Now, we find out that, despite the fact that they have not been bitten or anything, the child still turns into a zombie. Mm-hmm. You find out that
it's basically like airborne or whatever.
Yeah, they explain like if you don't have an A-negative blood type, then you just pretty much turn anyways. But
it wasn't. I think it was just like completely decided on your blood type.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, they're like, nope, we are not going to abandon our child because, well, they just don't know how this works yet. They have no idea if there's a cure or not. So their first reaction isn't, let's kill this child. Their reaction is, let's strap our child, our zombie child, in the back seat and hope for the best.
Because that always works out.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's face it. Most people aren't going to just go and say, well, time to murder our child.
And she went on to be the first zombie Rick kills in The Walking Dead.
That's what I thought, too. I mean...
Really, I thought that was just this whole thing was a prequel.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is what's happening in Australia while Rick is dealing with stuff in Atlanta. You know what I mean? It's just all isolated in their own little pockets.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So then the family goes on for a little while, and they find out that, whoops, the wife's also zombied, and the guy's just, yep, he takes them out, and he doesn't really feel too good about it, so he tries to off himself. Mm-hmm.
And it actually leads to me one of the scenes I really like in this movie is the next character we meet. I forget his name.
Well, yeah, he dies shortly after. So.
Spoiler. but also, yeah, he dies like almost immediately. He basically comes up on him as he's trying to kill himself, and basically there's a fight scene to prevent this guy from killing himself.
Yes, the guy's trying to kill himself, and the other guy is trying to prevent him from that. And it's like, what is going on here?
I've seen some crazy interventions before, but this ranks among the top of them.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And so after that, he convinces them, like, hey, I couldn't use your help, you know, like, to get across this. And then, yeah, I love it because he immediately, like, gets shot.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
He gets shot by, Benny is his name, I think?
Yes, the other character who then becomes the sidekick.
Yes. He's like, you just killed who? No, I shot a zombie. No, he wasn't a fucking zombie.
Fuck! Oh shit! And they basically just go on right from there.
Yep.
It's like, oh well, that sucked. Like they treated it like this big inconvenience.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, that sucks.
Sucks to
His
be
name
you,
is
dude.
His name is Chalker, by the way, and he was meant to serve as the sidekick throughout the film. But halfway through production, the actor playing him left to do a play. So
Really?
the majority of his lines were given to Benny. And the other character, and so he was actually killed 5 minutes in, so because he had to go do something else.
That's amazing.
Well, that would explain why in the beginning, like, we didn't mention the fact that the beginning of the movie is two flash forward sequences where they try to fight off a bunch of zombies in front of the barn or whatever the shed they hide in, and then them talking like, oh, by the way, I murdered my wife and child. It's like, well, that would have given this movie an inkling of suspense if we didn't already know you killed your wife and child.
Yeah.
Just arbitrarily flashbacked. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, and so the zombies that we actually fight, they're a little different than your average zombie.
A bit.
Okay, this is like the only thing that makes this movie distinguishable except for like one other detail.
And that's the fact that that they breathe or like belch like
Methane or something.
Yeah,
some
apparently,
sort of gas.
Fuel and petrol doesn't burn anymore for no reason whatsoever, but zombie gas does. So they have to like find a way to harness gas out of zombies that apparently is powerful enough to make combustible engines work properly in cars. It's about as stupid as it sounds. It's just
And it's amazing.
yeah, like it's the one thing you go, okay, this is not something I've seen in another zombie film. To be fair.
Yeah, and then like they keep kind of throwing new rules at you all the time because it's like, okay, they hook up a zombie to the truck to a truck to make it go, and then they find out like, oh shit, they don't actually emit that gas at night.
Yeah,
so we can't drive at night.
Why?
And it's
because.
And it's like, well, why?
They're solar-powered gas zombies, Nick. Come on.
These zombies are very green. That's what he's saying.
So I'm like, but then why do they move at night? Because they still move and bite shit at night, but they don't like throw up gas at night. Like the rules and the consistency are so weird, and that's even before we meet the freaking weird like Hannibal Lecter doctor character in this fucking lab that he's got, who has the sister character, and he's experimenting on his victims in there. Like it's hard. They don't really explain what his motivation is, but I guess they're trying to experiment on the people that are immune to see if they can weaponize them.
Because luckily enough, the sister is also immune.
Yeah. And, well, if they kind of have the similar blood type, that I guess that kind of makes sense. Like, as long as they have the same blood type. And, yeah, so... they end up giving the sister fucking...
they inject her with zombie blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for some reason it gives her psychic control over zombies, which is the only other thing that makes this movie interesting. I'm like, okay, I swear I've seen this in another movie before, but at least it showed an inkling of creativity on the part of the writing, quote, in this movie. It's like, okay, it's a new wrinkle in the effect kind of thing.
Yeah, I know I've seen that plot point in another zombie movie. I just don't remember which one it is.
Yeah.
There's so many of them. Good luck.
But it's like I like that aspect because it gives her a way to get out of her situation, like trying to puzzle solve her way out of it by using the zombies around her. And it's like, oh, that's actually really interesting.
You know what? That would have been a great Telltale sequence. Like, you know, they have to trigger this puzzle to get this zombie to do this and this zombie to do that kind of thing. I was like, okay, yeah, press Y, press X, up, down. There you go. You're free.
Telltale presents Wyrmwood Road of the Dead.
No, this is way too terrible a story for them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so without giving like too much of the plot away, because we'll do a spoiler section after a musical break. What did everybody think about the film? Like overall, like what were things you liked, things you didn't like?
Well,
what were you?
Well, like Justin said, there was two actual interesting points to this film. They just don't make any fucking sense. The rest of the film was fairly generic zombie. It was kind of clever with the whole, like, the first sidekick getting blown his head off really quick was entertaining. After that, it was fairly generic. There wasn't really anything super interesting about it. The ending was actually fairly entertaining, though. So I will give it points for that.
I do like the ending quite a bit. Justin, what'd you think?
Oh boy. I actually had to pause watching the movie at one point because I just needed to like watch something good to remind myself why I was doing this. But
damn.
Just remind yourself that there is good out there. There's good in the world.
And that's me being dramatic, but it was just the fact that this movie is like when you see the IFC Midnight logo at the beginning, you know exactly what you're getting into. This is a movie that was clearly shot for like $1,000, and they spent most of that on the gore effects. Because we say that the guy's being experimenting on, like they're experimenting on the girl in a lab, but that lab clearly is some dude's shed that's designed like a lab, and it's trying to like, oh well, it's inside this truck, so that's why it looks so small. But like, it still looks way bigger than any truck I've ever seen before. But it's oh man, it was something to behold. I did have like 3 good laughs throughout it, so it wasn't completely devoid of entertainment. And the gore is fine, except the kills aren't terribly memorable either. And I kind of liked the lead actor and the sister character, but most of the acting in this is pretty garbage. Like, especially Benny. I don't know why that dude was in the movie. Like, he serves no purpose as a character, and pretty much he's only there to yell at things, to make all the outlandish statements like, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in this, look at my guts, they're spitting out of my body, fudge, 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 fudge. And that's about the extent of his dialogue. It's just...
Someone had to throw the boomerang, Justin. Someone had to throw it.
It was important.
And apparently, but yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's a cheap, silly, dumb, easy acquisition for Netflix kind of thing. So if you want to watch a midnight movie with your friends and just laugh hysterically at how preposterous this movie is, it's right up your alley. But don't expect watching anything that's like, oh, it's like Warm Bodies is a huge surprise in the zombie genre. No, it's a cheap horror movie. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and for me, this film, it's pretty bad. Like, it's the acting in it. If you're not the main character's the main character and the sister are pretty good. Everyone else is overacting like you wouldn't believe.
Oh yeah.
There's even like just editing mistakes. Like someone like the sister will shoot a gun inside the truck and then like it'll run out of bullet, or no, like the gun will be out of bullets because the doctor shot the gun, but then the sister will use it in the next scene without it being obviously reloaded, and I'm like, how did that gun magically reload, guys?
Well, not only just that, like they'll just cut randomly. Like shots will be like super super short or super super long depending on if they had the money to show you the effect in the first place. So it's like the scene would have been more impactful if it didn't last 2 seconds.
Yeah, the plot, they make up rules kind of on the fly.
Yeah.
There is the gore in it is pretty ridiculous, and it's just like kind of like you don't really know almost anyone's motivation up until the very end if you get to know them at all.
Yeah.
That being said, I love this fucking movie.
It's because it's a terrible movie, and we've established you love them.
Oh yeah, baby, and here's why. Okay. So, this movie actually took 4 years to film.
Are you kidding me?
And the reason why is that they only worked weekends.
That's amazing.
So, and that is amazing to me because this feels like a movie you would make with your buddies over the weekend.
I probably drink a lot.
And just shooting shit. Yeah, and this just feels like a fan film, like, but in the best possible way.
Oh yeah, it feels very much like a fan film.
And then, the budget had to be super small on this. But I love it because you can tell they're doing the absolute best they can with the little that they have.
It's just that's not much.
But the effort, Travis, I
will
feel
give them
it.
that.
And I love it. I love that effort that puts in. That's all I need is just for the maybe I just like a participation trophy. But like, no, I love that the effort goes into it. This film made me laugh on several occasions. When that dude gets his nose bit off, I was laughing hysterically. Okay, like he gets this like, oh my god, is it bad?
Oh no, but the single funniest part in the whole movie is when the dude pulled out a samurai sword out of nowhere. They're like, hey, where'd you get that from? Don't ask questions. I'm like,
don't ask questions. Like, why the fuck did you get a samurai sword?
No, I love the fact that they had the one zombie in the cooler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
oh,
they literally had beers next to the zombie. It's like
pop it open. And no, how about this? When they bring up when one of them gets bit, they get a first aid kit, and it's like, well, what's in that? Like some sort of like anesthetic or something? And like, no, it's like it's beer.
Yep.
Like it's beer in the first aid kit.
I mean, technically an anesthetic.
He's got like Foster's in there or something, and it's just like the fuck.
Okay.
So
I mean, at least it's disinfectant.
This is the exact type of bad movie that I love to watch. Like this, like when I pop something in called Wyrmwood Road of the Dead. This is exactly the thing that I want to watch with that title.
It is one of those, Dead Dove type movies where like you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
So for me, I say this is such a fun fucking movie, and I had fun sober during it. If you get a bunch of your friends together and you have a couple beers, you get a little tipsy. I can only imagine that enhances the experience overall. Drink some Australian beer, get in the
keep it thematic. Huh?
Keep it in the mood. I love it. So. With that, I would say let's move into our favorite kill. What was our favorite kill of the film? Justin, how about you?
I mean, I blocked out a lot of the kills because they were just so generic. But I think for me, the best one, it's probably just the scientist dude, because you've been waiting for that dude to go because, one, he's a horrible, horrible actor. But two, it's the only one that felt like there was some motivation to kill him. It's like, okay, he's kind of the de facto bad guy. So it was gratifying to see the way it led to him getting killed rather than the kill itself. Just the whole Telltale puzzle system they did.
It's a Rube Goldstein type of
Goldberg,
shenanigans. Yeah, Goldberg, sorry.
Goldstein is his Jewish cousin.
Goldstein is his Australian cousin.
I think both names were probably Jewish, actually.
For me, my favorite kill has got to be Chalker, the first sidekick that gets his head blown off.
I have to agree, just because it's so you just don't see it coming, and just they barely even excuse it.
I love it. I love it so hard.
It's like, what? He wasn't a zombie? How could you not tell he wasn't a zombie?
Yeah, right?
So that was your favorite one, too?
Yeah, it was. It's hands down I do remember the whole entire, shenanigans that went with killing the scientist, but this one's fact that it was, one of the first ones was so fucking funny.
All right. Is there anything anyone wants to add before we move into a spoiler section?
Oh, we gotta do ratings and the next movie.
Sure, I want to do any last minute stuff. You know what? We'll just go into kind of final thoughts and then ratings or whatnot. Justin, how about you? You want to go first?
Sure, why not? Yeah, like I said, this is exactly what it is. It's a cheap movie made by people who have lots of enthusiasm but not a whole lot of skill. It's a very Ed Wood approach kind of thing, because you can feel it. They feel like they really are making this fun, awesome, Mad Max kind of themed zombie film, because they clearly borrowed a lot of those influences for the padding for their their special zombie armor they made, and the way they're
zombie armor.
Yeah, the way the cars are designed and that stuff. It was pretty cool. And yeah, again, it's probably the parts that made me laugh the most too were the ways they try to do some of the stylish techniques, like when they were trying to outrun the soldiers in the end, and it's clearly just sped up footage to try and make it look like they're going super fast. it was so goofy looking. It was hilarious. But yeah, but if I have to give it an actual rating for actual quality of the film, I'd have to say it's a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Don't grab a guy in the nuts when you do a fist fight.
How dare you? That's just rude.
That was the weirdest, when he explained that, I'm just yeah, because everything else has been so by the books. So.
Yeah.
You and me gonna go round and round. How about you, Travis?
Surprisingly, even though I feel like I actually enjoyed this movie more than Justin, I am giving it a lower rating. I'm gonna have to get this thing a 4 out of 10. I agree that it does look like, considering this is such a fan film, they did put a lot of effort into this movie, but there's only, it's funny, but there's only a few things that are actually, legitimately memorable about it. Overall, it's just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But it is fun to watch. It is funny for a sit-down. I would not say by yourself. Watch this with someone else you can make fun of this movie with. But overall, yeah, it's just kind of stupid. Methane zombies.
Yeah, this movie is hard to rate because it goes to the point where it's not good, but it bounces back up to the point where it's super entertaining. So for me, I am not a soulless monster, so I'm gonna give it the points on the effort and how much I actually enjoyed watching it. And I'm yeah, the amount of enjoyment I got, it actually hit up above average for me. I was just yeah, this was super fucking fun. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 ridiculous plot devices out of 10. Ridiculous zombie fuel tanks out of 10.
Wait, okay, how did I end up with a higher rating in this one?
He has out of 5.
My bad.
Okay.
Everyone else is 2. So 3.5 zombie gas tanks out of 5.
How did you end up with such a high rating?
Because I like this movie.
Okay,
this movie's good.
He automatically rates bad movies higher. Just get used to it.
No, only certain ones. They have to put the effort in.
So Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs didn't deserve it?
Wait, that's a thing?
That is a thing. You can go back and listen to our previous
Fuck Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs. Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs is not a pimple on the ass of Wyrmwood Road. Don't you bring up fucking Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs to me again. That's like bringing up Nam to a vet. Okay, this is bullshit. I'm having flashbacks right now to fucking methane. Oh my god, that had methane dinosaurs in it too.
Yeah, actually it did.
This was the better movie with methane fucking monsters of filled monsters in it.
How is that a category we have?
I don't know, but it is now a category with 2 movies that we have reviewed in.
I'm gonna have to find more now. That is a new
Netflix and Kill has a new subgenre of monsters filled with methane gas.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Oh wow! What have I gotten myself into?
You should probably flee now.
So yes, for those of you who want to check out our back catalog of Cowboys versus Dinosaurs methane gas monster stuff, and as well as all of our other movies reviewed for Netflix and Kill, or just the regular UGO podcast, you can go through our back catalog on iTunes at UGO Podcast. If you would like to suggest a movie for us to review, we would love to take suggestions. You can do that at UGO Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, maybe follow us on Facebook. Give us an email, unapologistgeekout@gmail.com, and we will definitely take those recommendations under consideration. We've already done a fan-requested Netflix and Kill, much to our horror. We'd love to do it again. Love to do that. So until next week, we will be reviewing a new film, and Justin, you already had one in mind, since it's going to be your turn.
Yeah, so I made a list of movies that I had been wanting to see, or movies that looked at least mildly interesting for this certain category of Netflix and Kill.
That's exactly what this is for.
Exactly. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if I can recommend my actual like classy Oscar picks to this category, but there's a few I'm curious about. And the one I chose this week after spinning the wheel is Abattoir. Now, this is one that I had discussed on Breakfast Pub with Chris Cox. I think it was the week that I guest starred on the podcast, actually. And it's something about this haunted house that's made from other haunted rooms from other houses kind of thing. And
that sounds like a terrible idea.
It sounds like it's going to be right up our alley for this thing. So this ought to be interesting. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, and then, good for you for being on another podcast as well. But now you know that you're part of Netflix and Kill. You can't be stepping out on us like that. We're a jealous podcast.
I'm not a podcast person, man. My heart is still uncaged,
Oh, we don't do that. We don't do that monogamy fucking podcast and bullshit.
By the way, if anyone's...
Am I polypodcastus? I don't know if that's the term for this.
I don't know, but I think we just made up a new word.
Maybe. Well, if anyone's actually curious, abattoir is actually a French word meaning slaughterhouse.
Nice.
So
very fitting.
All right, very fitting for Netflix and Kill. And as far as new words, I think we can just call Justin. Let's call a spade a spade. He's a podcast slut.
Is he now?
You dirty podcasting whore.
Nick, I seem to remember you being on a few different podcasts too.
It's different. I'm a player.
Oh, okay.
Don't hate the podcaster. Hate the game.
You should both get checked out.
We're going to take a small musical break, and we'll be back with a spoiler section of Wyrmwood Road of the Dead right after this.
Play Justin's music.
It's close to midnight, and something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes us out before you're naked. Yeah, you start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed, 'cause this is thriller.
All right, and we're back, and we're ready to talk about spoilers for Wyrmwood Road of the Dead. So if you have not watched this film yet, I highly suggest you go watch that fucker, because it is fun as balls.
I don't think it's going to make a difference if you watch it or not.
But if you don't care, which you might not, here's the spoiler section that we're going to be talking about. So, at the end of this film, our main hero finds his sister, who escapes the doctor via her new zombie control powers.
Yes.
Which are rad. They get captured by the government agency that's hunting down the immune people.
Mm-hmm.
Some dudes in discount soldier gear they found at the local Australian Red Cross or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And they get into a situation where the sister character is trying to kill the guards, and she can't quite do it. So Benny, the sidekick, decides okay, I'm gonna get bit so that I can be controlled by your sister. and then rip my arm off and fucking go at these guys and basically get myself killed.
Yep.
And apparently the sister knew the plan, even though she couldn't hear them talking. I don't know how she just figured, like, oh, well, clearly this is what I'm supposed to do right now.
Maybe she's some kind of zombie sonar where she can tell where zombies are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
She can read his thoughts when he was dead. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I was just wondering, like, why do people turn, like, people's, like, turn time for becoming zombies seems to vary quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, convenience.
Well, that's pretty much a common trope in zombies.
Oh, sure. Like, it's never an exact science, apparently.
No. What I love is actually the fact that the soldiers were actually getting offended that these people weren't basically just dying to them. Like, how dare you? We're fighting for the greater good. Like, okay, have you... I mean, let's face it, no one's actually going to believe that anyway. But did you ever explain that, or you're going to bother saying what your goal is? No, you're just angry at them, basically, for surviving.
So
Yeah.
So yeah, but the final fight between the final mercenary and our hero erupts, and I'm hearing like Mortal Kombat music when it starts up, and just like, and I love that he like, oh god damn it, like because he gets his mask knocked off, and he's obviously not like has the right blood type. Yeah, he doesn't have A negative blood type, so he's fucked, and he's like he knows he's fucked. Like, okay, fine, but you and me, we're gonna fight, or as he says, we're gonna go round and round, which might be my new like catchphrase when I want to get into it some about it. Like, okay, we're gonna argue about the Alien movies, Travis. We're gonna go round and round.
Okay,
we're gonna go round and round about it. And he's like, so it's like he hands him the keys to the cuffs, and they duke it out for like no reason at all, and then he finally gets one over on it, and then the sister, who has been shot by this point, like,
she's dying as far as we know.
Yeah, she just resurrects, and I love that all the zombies died with her. Like they all just fell to the ground, like, oh no, we were second. I'm like,
but then they all came back when she got up too. So.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think that's how that. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Minor details,
but it did give us a cool. I love the fact that how poorly shot that fight sequence is, because when he's pushing up against the car, the camera's like tilting sideways where they're at the very bottom right corner, and you can't see anything happening. It was just...
It's a classic fight scene between two people that actually don't really know how to fight very effectively. It's like, man, these two guys can't really fight. Well, what do we do? Just shake the camera around a little bit. We'll cut it in post, and
just don't show them anything.
It's like we'll keep it as confusing as possible.
Yeah.
And then we see the afterwards the brother and sister character, like they're gonna take the fight to the government guys.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really know because they still haven't explained jack shit.
It felt like a next time episode, like next time on Wyrmwood, because I'm like, you guys are a movie, not a TV show. Oh shit, sorry.
I don't know, this felt like a made-for-sci-fi TV show.
Yeah, it did.
This was like the pilot movie to start the series.
Sure. Well, there's that new show on Sci-Fi Channel called Blood Drive, where the cars operate are driven on blood, and I was like, is this the spiritual sequel to Wyrmwood?
Pretty much.
It kind of feels like it.
Or like you said, this could just be the Australian version of Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
No, the Australian version of Z Nation, clearly.
Oh, yes.
Of course. Only the highest of quality.
There could be no walls to build.
So this ending was fantastic. I don't think there was anything wrong with it.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it was to par of quality, so...
Although I did love the fact that they clearly blew their budget by the ending, because they show, they spent the most effects on burning the dude's head, and then when he gets quote-unquote eaten, it just pans down quickly and then it just cuts away. No blood, no gore, no nothing. Just, you know what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Also Boomerang.
Well, also Boomerang. Because we couldn't get out. I'm like, we really going to get out of here without a Boomerang? No, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Every Australian love to feed into that stereotype. So yeah, if this is the mark of quality for Australian zombie films, I'm interested to see more.
No.
I want to see it. Come on.
That was the limit.
You guys aren't any fun.
Well, you know what? You have a turn to pick a movie, so when you find another Australian zombie movie, you can force us to watch it.
Oh, you say that like I'm not going to find one.
It has to be on Netflix, remember?
I'm going to get it. I'm going to find it.
Nick's gonna start buying stocks on Netflix just so he can have a choice on what movies get played on there. It's terrifying.
That's going to be the new thing on the intro menu, just like action, drama, Australian zombie horror.
Right alongside methane-filled monsters.
Right.
Yes.
They're gonna cross a lot. They're gonna have a lot of redundancy.
You know, Netflix does suggest those weird fucking, because you like this,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be great if, because you like this, here's other methane-filled monster movies. That'd be great.
Ever since watching Wyrmwood, I have this whole selection of like the cheapest of cheapest looking zombie movies on my queue. So
Don't worry. After a few months of Netflix and Kill, you won't even be able to look at those options anymore. They just basically won't even make sense.
Netflix basically has a category now for me that's basically just says, you like bullshit, right?
You like shitty movies, correct? Sometimes,
this is why my mom made a
yes.
separate Netflix account for me. She doesn't want me sharing all my crazy, bizarre recommendations on her list.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah. It gets to a point where you have to realize there's two people in the world. There's people who like good movies, and there's people who like movies, and I like movies.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm in the wrong crowd.
Which is it's great. That means I have a constant conflict. So this was a very successful first reboot of Netflix and Kill. At least I thought.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. So hopefully we can keep it going next week when we watch Justin's film.
I apologize in
Abattoir.
advance.
Abattoir.
It's French.
I knew it sounded douchey for a reason. Fucking French. It's a slaughterhouse. They even have to make that sound fucking
Right.
high class and shit. But yes, once again, thank you for listening. You can find us at any of our social media pages to recommend movies and all that sort of good jazz. On our Twitter, Facebook, anything like that. Justin, you want to tell them where they can find you?
Well, like you said, you can find me on Facebook, Justin Zarian, Zarian. I'm occasionally on Twitter on a full, once on a fortnight kind of thing. But the most part, I work on oneofus.net. I work on some of the subscriber podcasts, and I occasionally join on for We Are Error along with Nick Thies. So,
Yes, Nick Thies,
Nick
my
Thies.
porn name.
You really should just change your
Yes.
name to that because it's so much better.
Yeah, but I'm going to change it to actual, like the name Thies, like THIEGHS.
Yes.
It's my company. But yes, thank you for joining us, Justin. And until next time, we're on Apology Geek Out, and
We're out.
see ya.